Ruthie. Is it Elroy or Leroy?
Yeah. What I want to know, a lot of people don't realize if you live in an apartment building and they're charging each unit, they're charging them $25 to $40 a month extra for rent, and that's illegal. And there's a case law that was filed in, I think, in Minnesota or somewhere up there, that they lost their case and they had to pay all of those people all of that money back that they had been collecting for a water bill. It's illegal to charge you if you don't live in a one-family unit. If you live in a one-family unit, you are responsible for your water.
Right, because there's no way really to tell who's using which water. So are they saying that they're breaking it out as a water charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's interesting. I want to thank you for telling us that. I had never even heard of that. Mm-hmm. That's messed up. Charles, you are on with Kim and Ruthie. How are you?
How you doing? One thing we could do to get out of this predicament we in is why don't we all make a commitment to investigate Mark Wallace's 10 by 10 to win? Mm-hmm. Find out what it is, what it does, how it works, mm-hmm. and let's get behind that, which is coming up in about a couple months now.
Right.
And we can, if we do it right, we can make an impact on what is being done to us in the black community.
I think that that's a very, very good point. And Mark talks about it when he has his show every night from 9 until midnight. He talks about 10 by 10, and I know that they meet every week on Fridays at the Lagos Baptist Church on Halsted. I don't want to give the wrong address, but I know it's in the hundreds. But no, I mean, that's the only way that you have to work with these numbers. While we still have the numbers, Ruthie, I think that you have to work with the numbers. But the thing is, will we do that? Will we work with our numbers? How do we unify when we're so suspicious? I don't see other groups of people be this suspicious of each other.
I think it's because historically we have, you said it earlier, that being black was enough. And now I think that there's a shift away from, okay, you're black, you look like me, but what are you really doing? Mm-hmm. And so I think now people will vote in a voting block, but I think it'll be, we're so fractured. We're creating voting blocks against black candidates,
right?
Which might not be a bad thing, but then does that further splinter the black vote?
Well, here's what I would say. When you have this mayoral race and you got all of the black candidates and they will split each other's vote, I mean, that's what it is. That's a fact.
Okay.
At some point, though, one may make it. Sometimes I don't know if black people are as sophisticated as they should be when it comes to politics, because if your person didn't make it, does that mean you don't vote for anybody in the general?
Okay.
And the flip side is you just vote for them no matter what they stood for.
Exactly.
So what's the middle ground? Middle ground is trying to negotiate as much as you can. And I'm concerned because I don't know who those people are who are doing the negotiations and whether they want to negotiate on behalf of the community or if they're negotiating their own private deal.
We do need voting blocks, but what are we establishing those blocks upon? Like what? Like we need them, but what do we need? Like what are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for? Rick, you're on with Kim and Ruthie.
Hello.
Hi, Rick.
Yes, this is just a little clarification on the issue of reparations. The provisions for reparations that were made by this country after the Civil War, the Indian tribes said, well, we're sovereign nations. We can still hold our slaves. And the country said, no, you can't do this. So they had to renegotiate these Indian treaties and Native American treaties. And what they did in the treaties, there were provisions for the slaves also called freedmen. And basically in these treaties, the freedmen and their descendants were supposed to get everything
that the Native Americans got. So I mean, everything they got, and some black people actually brought that to the Obama Justice Department, pointed it out, and they said there was some merit to asking that. But basically, the Obama Justice Department quashed it. But there is some merit, but not as black people have freedmen, that's slaves and their descendants. So that could be brought. The other thing is that you get the figures on these huge banks that made money. They were around during slavery time and made money on the slave trade and whatever, and they recognized it. So what if those banks require that we establish some banks? I grew up in Chicago. We had black banks. Now we have hardly any. So that they have to invest in black banks.
I want to thank you for your call. He's bringing up a good point because former Alderman Dorothy Tillman was the person in city council that forced banks and anyone doing business with the city, they had to disclose whether or not they had interest in slaves at some point.
Dorothy Tillman.
She did that. The only thing is we didn't take it to the next step. We didn't say you have to pay into the reparations pool, to take care of the black people who you did over with the slavery. We never made that. So now you have to disclose it, and they do. I've seen the forms. Chase Bank, for example, has to disclose, these people are multi-billionaires for a reason.
Absolutely.
And they disclose it, but there's no connection. They don't mind disclosing it, but the's no connection made with now what are you going to do as far as repairing
exactly
what happened to black people. We've got one more break.
Wow, this went so quick.
It's such a good conversation. I'm so glad you're in here today.
Absolutely.
We're going to take one final break for traffic and weather. You are listening to WVON 1690 AM, the Talk of Chicago. We'll get to your calls when we come back.
WVON.com, the website. Check it out.
This is Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister. Join me each and every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Gospel with Pam Morris Walton.
I need just a little more Jesus. I need just a little more Jesus.
Be inspired, be blessed on 1690 AM WVON.
I need just a little more Jesus.
That's God's favorite radio station. See you there.
Help me along the way.
If you're looking for a local sports show that represents us, that stays true to the culture and serves up the real, then it's time to rock with the Bigs. Sundays at 11. We'll give you an authentic look into the Chicago sports scene and bring you closer to your favorite teams and players than you've ever been. So turn off that noise and see what the game's been missing. Listen to the Bigs with me, Terrence Tomlin, and me, Eugene McIntosh. Sunday nights at 11 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm Barry James, co-owner of Island Furs. It's that time of year again. The holidays and the halt are here. So come on into Island Furs and take advantage of our super free holiday sale. Save from 40 to 70% off our beautiful furs, leathers, and shearlings. Remember, before you buy, stop by Island Furs. We appreciate your business. Thanks again from Barry, Gerald, and the entire staff at Island Furs. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you at Island Furs, 1827 West 103rd Street, 773-881-FURS. That's 773-881-3877. We are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sunday noon to 5. Again, happy holidays.
This traffic report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price. And it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
WVON, traffic and weather now.
That car facing the wrong way along southbound Lakeshore Drive at the Oak Street curb has been removed. Travel times now pretty much free-flowing once again. As you make your way along the Bishop Ford, you'll need 25 minutes from I-8094 to the Ryan. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial Trail, no problems there. The Ryan 18 minutes from 95th Street to downtown. The Stevenson still 36 in from I-355 to the drive, outbound just fine. Eisenhower, a 35-minute trip from Thorndale to the Jane Byrne interchange, outbound clear. Still no problems, no delays along the Kennedy in from O'Hare to downtown and back again. A wet morning. We're seeing some steady light drizzle. Temperatures, though, are expected to climb into the 50s. 51 is our official high. Cloudy tonight and 41. Then tomorrow on Friday, mostly cloudy skies, with temperatures leveling off at about 38 degrees. It's 40 in Park Manor, 41 at O'Hare, and 40 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The WVON lineup, chat room, blogs, photos, podcasts, and more on the World Wide Web at WVON.com.
WVON 1690 AM, the Talk of Chicago. This is our final break. Before we take our last calls, I do want to say we talked about it very briefly at the beginning of the year. I want to send my condolences to the family of Brian Sleet. Many of you all knew Brian Sleet. He was a political, let's say a political operative, okay? He ran for alderman of the 6th Ward in 2011. He helped push it to a runoff. And then the current alderman, Roderick Sawyer, took him on as his chief of staff. At some point, he also worked for former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. I believe he was working for the Obama Foundation. He's one of, I knew him. I mean, like, he came when I passed the bar. He came to my luncheon celebration, that type of thing. He's someone that a lot of people in the community knew. He was a part of
Kim Foxx's campaign?
Yes. I mean, this is someone that is just very shocking to me. I don't know the details of what happened with Brian. If anyone knows, please email me, kim@WVON.com. But we just want to take a minute to celebrate a life. And the idea that he's gone so soon, it just puts things into perspective. I can't explain it any better than that. It just makes you think about what's important. And are you doing everything that you can to make an impact on whatever world you want it to be? If it's your family, if it's your friends, if it's your work. Just want to make sure you are doing everything you can to enjoy life, but also to make an impact. Just had to say that because it's so fleeting.
Absolutely.
It's so fleeting. We're going to take Kofi. How are you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. You know, as far as this mayor's election, you know, I'm in it as a write-in, but I'm in it to explain why would we put somebody who's already in government as mayor?
Very
you understand?
good question.
The only ones I'm listening to is Willie Wilson, Amara, and Jamal. I'm not listening to nobody else because everybody else is a part of the establishment who put us in this situation.
But did you just say that you're a write-in?
Yeah.
But you're going to write in, but you would support one of those people. So why would you be a write-in if you would support? You have a couple of people that you would support.
I'm a write-in as mayor, yes, under Eric Cooper James, yes. So I'm at the table. I'm talking with these people. I'm talking to all these mayors, trying to get them to do things, trying to get them to make.
Oh, that's why you're a write-in. So will you take your name off so you won't take votes from one of them if you can?
My name is not on the ballot. I can only be a write-in. You can only press the write-in and write my name in.
No, that's what I'm saying. Listen to me. Follow me.
Oh,
At
yes,
some point, someone, if you make it, you know, and you tell people to write my name in, But right now you're saying there are a couple of people that you could work with, but you would be taking votes from them. I'm trying to figure out your rationale.
Well, we want to narrow it down to right now, I see the only one, Willie Wilson, right now. He's the only one that is getting these guys out of jail.
Okay.
He went to the jails the other day. We got the crime reform bill with the federal government. Okay, so we get these people, men and women, out of jail.
So you support Willie Wilson?
I will support right now. Willie Wilson is the number one person out of the establishment. Okay, he knows about the Democratic ills that put us in this situation, and he's speaking on it.
Okay, I want to thank you for your call, but I'm just trying to give an example, and this isn't to talk about anyone. You support him, but you're going to have people write your name in, which would take votes away from him in a race that has 500 people running. And that's what I'm. You can point. There are people who really cannot point to one person that they support, which I get if they want to run. But you can tell me that you found somebody. Yeah. You even said we getting people out. Now see Willie paying the money, but you said we getting people out. We're doing this. So I want us all to increase our political acumen in the upcoming year. Did I say that diplomatically enough?
You sure did. Black History Month 2019. 2019.
It's going to be a bang-up job. As my mother likes to say, it's going to be live. Mosley, you are on with Kim and Ruthie. How are you? Mosley? Okay, Mosley. He wanted to give us...
Disingenuous and insensitive for you all to keep bringing up reparations, and you're not developing, marketing a strategy to go out and win this war. It's a war. You're talking about dealing with the United States who don't want to give us anything.
I agree.
And I think it's just disingenuous and insensitive for you as announcers to continually come on and really play into folks who call up talking about reparations, and they are not out there making it happen in terms of organizing thousands and thousands of people, organizing all of our congressional black caucus.
So as an announcer, because you said we're announcers and we're disingenuous, what should the disingenuous announcers be doing?
It's a war. It's a war to get out there and organize.
Are you saying that the announcers should be organizing?
What?
Are you saying that the announcers should be organizing? I'm trying to ask.
No. Yeah, well, what's the purpose of you bringing it up? Just to be bringing it up for discussion?
Yes, because it's a talk show. Thank you for your... Thank you. Talk of Chicago. Talk of Chicago. It's a talk show. We talk and we try to put ideas out. And he said it's a war, and I agree with him.
It is a war. But to the caller, reparations sort of came up as a caveat to us talking about some reasons that black people will rally behind a government shutdown.
Right.
We talked about DACA, and we talked about the wall or the concrete structure as being reasons that we were not necessarily rallying behind.
Like, that would not be my number one reason to shut down a government.
Not the number one. My number one reason for shutting down the government will be in the interest of reparations for black people, descendants of slaves.
And you can't be any clearer than that. I want to thank you so much. It's been enjoyable. You think maybe we could do this again?
Kim, I was a little nervous because you're AKA.
Oh, Lord.
I was a little nervous.
Not about to bring this Delta over here.
I was a little nervous.
Is not about to start calling out sorority.
Listen, I thoroughly enjoyed being here with you, Kim, and to all of my people that's listening, my family and my friends, thank you guys so much for the support.
And we want to thank you for her because she's fabulous and outstanding.
Thank you, Kim.
Maybe tomorrow we need to have the AKAs and the Deltas call in.
Listen, let's do it,
Let's do it. I think that's good. AKAs, Deltas in the house. And if you're a Sigma, Gamma, Rho, or Zeta, you want to call in and talk about something, that's cool too. We don't discriminate. This is sisterly love. The women are working it out. This is like an all-woman crew today.
Absolutely.
Annette was our newswoman. Sonia was our conductor. That's what Maze calls her, the conductor. There's the line. But no, we've had a good time, and
absolutely,
we have so much more to talk about. So let's do it again.
Absolutely. Tomorrow.
Let's do it again tomorrow. Why not?
And in the spirit of Kwanzaa,
yes,
unity. Today we are operating in the spirit of unity, despite everything that we talked about, despite the caller feeling like we announcers need to be organizing. We hear you, brother.
I won't do all.
No, it's important to have shows like these because hopefully we're dropping some type of seeds. Even if it makes you angry, that's fine.
Absolutely.
But it'll make you stronger in your beliefs. So we want to thank you so much for listening. And look,